talk about fears. Let's talk about love. Yeah, I got fears, but I ain't got no love.
So I'm asked all the time, Detective Maines, what can I do to keep my stuff off the internet, all my personal information? Well, I don't like that stuff out there. I don't want people to know my voting preference. I don't want people to know my cell phone number. I don't want people to know my address. I'm a private person. I don't want that stuff out there for people to take advantage of me. That's why I use Data Seal. Okay? It personally is the comprehensive data removal service that I trust. So use the link below to receive 5% off of your Data Seal subscription and protect you and your family. If you have concerns that your personal information is being exposed online, use Data Seal. It's the one that I trust and I use personally. So listen guys, there's a link in the bio and in the comment sections. Click on that link and you'll get 5% off of your subscription. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Patrice Endres is a hair stylist. She owns her own beauty salon in Georgia. She drops her son off at school, goes to work, and she never comes home. She's missing. Exactly 600 days later, her body is found 6 miles from her salon. So that's the crux of the story. Now let's get into a timeline. One of the things that I think was very good and was done tremendously by the police department, they were on this missing person right away. I mean, I'm used to seeing missing persons where they aren't reported for 2 or 3 weeks, or the police don't take it seriously, it's a runaway. Not this one, okay? They were on it within hours. So they did a very good job on that. So let's look at timeline. Around 8:50, she's in her hair salon. She's cutting somebody's hair. The customer says, she was somewhat unattentive when she was cutting my hair, doing it. But nonetheless, we have somebody that says that she was there at 8:50. That appointment lasted until, I think, 11:27 or something to that effect. I'm trying to look at my notes here that I took. At 11:27, she might have had a different customer. I think it was a gentleman that came in, got his hair cut. He's leaving, and he gets a telephone call, so that's how they know it was exactly 11:27 that gentleman left. At 11:35, a customer placed a phone call to her shop, and she answered the phone. So she was there at 11:35, but the customer said she was kind of short with her on the phone. So that bothered me a little bit. But the next phone call comes in at 11:50, and there's no answer. So we know, and the police know this is no surprise, I'm not coming up with this theory or anything, that between 11:35 and 11:50, something happened within that time frame. Okay, her lunch was left next to the microwave, so it looks like she was getting ready maybe to make her lunch when the event occurred. At 11:45, so in between 11:35 when she was on the phone and was short with the customer, and 11:50 when she got no answer. At 11:45, which falls right in line with this, we have 2 independent witnesses driving by the salon. Both observe Patrice's vehicle, which is an SUV, a Tahoe, parked at an angle kind of in front of the shop, which is unusual because she had always backed it into the shop. And they actually showed a photograph of her shop and the vehicle there and how she normally would park it. However, it's pulled, perpendicular to the front of the shop. But what obviously is important, one witness sees a vehicle and it's parked next to, so this would be Patrice's vehicle. This other vehicle is parked here right directly in front of the door of the shop. The one witness, I believe she said she's seen two ladies out front talking. One seemed like an older lady. I didn't do any research on that. So that is weird because the other witness says that they saw a man and having some sort of physical altercation, but I guess they didn't realize that it was an altercation. They explained it as maybe it looked like somebody was helping somebody up or some sort of hands-on event. Okay, well, that is the event. That witness witnessed whatever happened to her was happening right then and there in front of the shop. So the vehicle that she describes, the two witnesses describe separate vehicles, but fairly close. You got to remember how witnesses operate. They are not expecting, think of yourself driving down the road. You're driving down the road, you happen to look over, you see two vehicles, two people kind of talking. Maybe they're hugging each other. You don't know. You don't think nothing of it. So in your mind, you're not going to say, oh, I remember the license plate number, the make of the car. It's a normal day for these witnesses. Okay? They just happen to witness probably an abduction and a murder. But they didn't know it at the time. But they gave a description of a car. It was a blue car, had Georgia license plate. So as a detective, that's a tip. That's something that is good. It focuses, narrows down your scopes. Like I always say, with theories, you start at possibilities and you want to deduce, to probabilities. That's how you solve cases. So we have this vehicle there. Make no mistake about it. This vehicle is involved in the demise of Patrice. So now that we know that 11:45 in that car, they were involved. Inside the shop, we have to note that there doesn't appear to be a struggle. Now, the police officer acknowledged, which I already knew, but he acknowledged that there's some things, obviously, that they are not releasing. And although I am a huge advocate for transparency, if you ever watch any of my stuff and see all the flack I get from other law enforcement officers all the time, because I think after 30 years, 20 years, when it's not working, you got to try something else. When conventional means don't work, you have to try unconventional means, and that means releasing information. However, I understand you should always keep something to yourself within law enforcement. That weeds out false confessions, okay? So now that we know that 11:45 in that car, they were involved. Now let's get to the suspects.